being the change. Be the change. It can be difficult to be the change because you might be the only one in your group of people that is actually trying to improve themselves, change how you go about, how you react to things, what you say to people, how you treat people, working on your own insecurities, working on your own feelings of guilt, of sadness, working through these emotional states. And when you do that, your energy is going to get better, everything around you is going to get better, and it can be a difficult thing to do in many ways, because first, it's difficult to go within and sit with those emotions that you have probably been denying for many years. And second, it is difficult because it might take you out of your friend groups. Like now you don't talk about the same things, you don't connect in the same way, and all that. So you might feel like you're a little bit outside of the mainstream. And that's a good thing, but it might not feel like that. So, great spirit, Father God, source of all things, consciousness. What is the overall weather message for this day? Clear out the clutter. Frog spirit, okay? Clear out the clutter. Clutter can be in our minds, it can be in our room, it can be in our emotions, it can be in our house that we live in, it can be in just our closet. Clutter, maybe size down, downsize, and then just keep the things that is valuable to you, and allow those things that you really love to stay in your surroundings, and also organize things so that you easily can find them when you need them. Victory, come a long way. Whoever I'm picking up on has come a long way in their life and has been making decisions that are good for them, have been clearing out clutter inside. Whoever this is has been going into their mind, figuring out what kind of dysfunctional thinking is going on in their mind, and what kind of judgmental voice is on repeat in their mind. They have figured out how they are addicted to their emotional state. This is all they know. This is all you know. So once you're addicted to feeling sad, you are going to find something to feel sad about your whole life. And that's okay. You can do that if you really like to be sad. And that's okay. But if you want to be happy and you want to be joyous and enjoy life and have all that, then you have to make changes. And oftentimes the whole sadness thing is just a habit. It's just habitual thinking, and it's just become a habit. This is who I am. This is how I feel. This is me. Well, it's not really. You can change all of that like right immediately if you want to. And someone here has done the inner work. And that is something that is cause for celebration. It is something that not only you can feel it, because I know you can feel it when you've been going through changes like that. It changes your whole outlook on everything. So congratulations. And other people can also see it and they can feel it too. So they are noticing the differences that you have made too. So congratulations, doing something right. Surroundings, supportive surroundings. Perhaps you found your place in the world. You found your place where you want to settle in and settle down. And even there might be marriage in the surroundings. So maybe you have an eye on someone that is worthy of the idea of marrying. Or maybe you have found circumstances that you want to commit to this place that you're in at the moment. Perhaps you want to be part of creating a community or creating a good place and a cause for celebration for other people. And the surrounding areas are supportive, so that's great. Sometimes when we have little and want to do a lot, you have to juggle, and you have to become very good at juggling. And even though sometimes life throws us curveballs, that's how we learn. So those are like little gifts from the universe. They don't seem like it, but they're little gifts from the universe, because it'll force you. If you don't want to sit down and be the change on your own, universe will come in and kickstart it for you. So that's the beauty of the troubles that we have. And so, and it'll help you grow on every level: soul level, mind level, body level, everything, spiritual, like everything. And so juggling but it can also sometimes be a hindrance. Like things might go slower because you have many things that you want to keep in balance. You have to balance your time, your resources, how you spend it. And while you're building something, if you're going through a lot of changes, it is difficult to put your effort everywhere, full speed all the time. So there will be areas of your life where you have to balance out things. So a challenge in this situation can be like the budgeting, the balancing of things, having too many almost balls in the air, and juggling is good, but it's also can be draining too. But keep on. That's what this is saying. Just keep on keeping on, because it is victory. It's victorious. Whatever it is that you're doing and balancing, however it is you're balancing, have faith that it is victorious. And the old sadness, the old disempowered state. So yeah, old habits, like, yeah, I'm used to always waking up in the same mood, and I'm used to that, so I'm just gonna get up and wake up and be disappointed again. So are we gonna sit here and judge ourselves for doing that? Excuse me. Or are we gonna sit here and be commenting on it and be mean to ourselves? Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Woke up like that again. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Like, really? That's how grateful you are? Oh my God. So if you wake up and you feel like you open your eyes and you're like, oh, really? I have to go through this one more time? And you wake up, and then you get up and puzzle along and just not feeling it, which I know millions and millions of people out there feel like that every day. They wake up and the old disappointment is just there. Like, you're waking up to the same life that you were so disappointed about last night, and now you're waking up to the same story again. And so how can you change it? How can you change the story? Do you have to change everything in your life? No. Do you have to, sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. For the most part, you don't. For the most part, if you make changes within yourself, your circumstances is also going to adjust into it. But if you do have a disempowered state in the bottom, like in your unconscious mind, like way back in there somewhere, you have this disappointment of life, or disappointment of people, disappointment of feelings, disappointment of connections and relationships. And then it kind of makes sense that you would feel that way if you've had the devil in your past, which is narcissism, which is bullies of any kind, which is people manipulating you, which is people pretending to be what they're not, and trickery, which it is substance abuse, which it is pleasurable abuse and addictions, which it can be food, it can be sex, it can be emotional neediness. Whatever it is that you've had in your past that took away your own guiding system, that took away your own sense of control in your life, or your own sense of choice, having the power to choose, whatever it is that took away all of that and left you disappointed, at your core might be something that might be the clutter that you want to clear out. That might be the clutter. What kind of addictions did you have that you couldn't let go of? What kind of emotional baggage do you have there that you have difficulty letting go of? Sometimes it might be fruitful to sit down, write it out, talk to these people in words, say exactly how you felt, how they made you feel when they behaved like that. It can be a huge eye-opening for yourself, and also it's going to open up for a more of a stronger character, someone with passion, someone assertive, feeling more in charge of your choices, feeling more in charge of how you build up your life, feeling more in charge of the things that you love to do, feeling more in charge of your own energy, feeling more in charge of how you react to people, feeling more in charge and in center. Embracing the unknown. This is the old habit from before. The disappointment, that's the old habit. That's from before. Now you can practice your future emotion. What does that look like? So instead of lingering in the past, now try and create what is your future going to feel like? And then you embody that feeling as if it already happened. Gratitude is a great way to walk around and feel gratitude for your future. And you are co-creating with this, with Source, you're co-creating with the universe, you're co-creating with God. And in the future, you're going to have that happiness, joy, and bliss. And it's very, very beautifully laid out here. Supportive community, balancing things, so it might be struggle-ish, but getting over that old habitual feeling of disappointment. Because when you're disappointed or when you're in a rush, you can't see the blessings on your way. And how to present yourself to the world. Someone who is awakened, someone who sees what they cannot see yet, someone who stood up and said, fudge that, I'm not doing all these crazy things, because apparently everybody walking around just being disappointed by their life, they're not happy, they're just pretending to be, and they're not happy, they're just doing their duty, and then that's supposed to be good enough, and everybody be like, oh my gosh, that's great, that's wonderful that you did that. Yeah, it's wonderful, sacrifice yourself for like 100 years in whatever situation that you don't really want to be in, and that's a congratulations. Well, present yourself rather as someone who stands up and there is only one true satisfaction, and it is to get out of the matrix or the 3D, the whole race. Figure out your stillness, your inner core, your inner strength, and awaken. And you know, the Bible, everything talks about the awakening, this whole awakening, showing how to do that, showing step by step how to become that. And then yet people get caught up in the ego. So people get caught up in the ego, unconscious. People seeing beyond the ego, waking up, awakening. Others will see you as the world, someone who has it together. Some other people see you, other people won't see the disappointment in your bottom. They might not connect to you in the way that you want them to, because you have this energy flowing from you that is disempowering. Also, you might be scared to let them into your life, because I know how that feels. Because when you've been around enough people and they have treated you in the same unkind, betraying way, then you have difficulties. Then you're gonna take your time. You're gonna take your time getting to know people and getting to see people under different kinds of pressure, seeing people in different kinds of circumstances, and you're gonna have to see them in different types of decisions that they make for you to even know where they stand with you. And so learning from the past is a good thing. But other people, they see you as you have it all together. So they might look at you and be like, yeah, got it all together. And that sometimes we look at people who, like Facebook happy. Yeah, everybody's happy on the pictures. Yeah, everybody's leading such great lives. They're so happy, and they're so, because they're supposed to be. You're supposed to be. When you have these things, you're supposed to be happy. When you have this situation in your life, you're supposed to be happy. And some of them are, yes. And a lot of them are not. They just post the best pictures because that's what you're supposed to do. And then it becomes this self-betrayal too. It becomes this making up this whole beautiful thing that is pretending to be, while deep inside you did not do the work, did not go within, did not want to be the change, just want to linger in the same old disempowering state. And that's when you get stuck. And so having it all together can come in many different ways, but the only true way to really have it all together is to go within. There is no other way. There's no other way. I'm saying it every day. There's no other way. You have to face those little demons, those little emotions, those little disempowering thinking, those little voices that we all have them in their heads. Nothing to feel ashamed about. It's nothing to feel guilty about. It's nothing to feel bad about, because we all have that little voice in our head. And so having it all together starts with sitting down and allowing all that blanket of craziness and thoughts. Allow it to be, and just study it for a little bit. Write it out. Today in my crazy head, I was thinking this. And then you just write it out, type it out, type. And then eventually you'll become aware of it when it pops back up. Oh, there it is. Oh, there it is. And now you can free yourself from it. Free yourself. You can complete the cycle of that whole cycle of addiction, disappointment, addiction, disappointment, addiction, disappointment, addiction, disappointment. And you can close out that cycle, the World card. And then you can start to manifest your future and rather feel the gratitude. Oh my God, this future. Oh my God, I can't believe, thank you so much. And then you just stir it up until you feel that gratitude, and you feel it, and and then you wallow in it a little bit, and lo and behold, just watch it transform everything. And the worst things that we can do as people sometimes is to set out on a new journey. And we all have different areas of our life that we have been accustomed to, or like you get used to. So for me, I'm used to living on my own. I'm used to being by myself. It doesn't mean that that's what I prefer to do. It's just that that's how my life was. That's how my life has been. And so for me to set out on a new journey with someone else in my space and in my life is probably maybe the thing I want the most, but also the thing that I fear the most, because I would have to change. And I would have to go within, and I would have to sit there and feel all these feelings and allow it to be, and then let it go and go through all these motions and emotions to gradually get used to it, right? And so, but I'm gonna do it because I want to, because I want to experience that in my life. Sometimes the journey can be like, for people, say that you already had your kids, you already have you're married, you had your kids, you raised your kids, and now is what you're gonna do when they're out of the house. Like, wow, you hadn't been thinking about yourself for the past 20 years. Now what you're gonna do? And then there's a big gap there where you have to figure out and get to know yourself again, and figure out who you are, and go within and see what is going on within there, and what are the things that you dreamed about maybe back in the day, and maybe you can figure out some of those things, and maybe you can pick it back up and start to be creative or do something fun just for yourself. And if you're with a husband or a boyfriend or girlfriend, or however your situation, with the ones that you love, and figure out that. A new journey can be also for people who have been sick for a long time, and then you've been sick for a long time, and now you've been out of the work market, you haven't not been working for a long time, and you are now, you have to get back into it because you're healing up. Sometimes we can get so scared of taking that next step that we don't really want to heal up completely, because then then the uncertainty comes in. At least you know what you're doing when you're healing. And so a big step can be for some people to just start their life again. Get out there and be a part of a little social thing, like a job, a space where you interact with people over time, the same people. And it can be a challenge to do that. It can be what you want the most, and it can be what you fear the most as well. It can be the fool, can be taking on, maybe you've been working the same job for like 50 years or for a long time. Maybe you've been in the same job for a long time and you know exactly what you do, and you're on autopilot. You can do it in your sleep. You can do it backwards, and you can do it even with a little backflip. You can still sit there and do your job because you know it so well. And then maybe you're like, you know what, this is really tedious. I'm really good at this, and it's easy for me, and it's comfortable. It's my comfort zone because I know how to do this. But there's always something. I wanted to learn something about arts, or I wanted to do something about Reiki healing, or whatever is calling to your heart. And then it's completely different from the numbers that you've been crunching for years, or the things that you've been setting into. And then all of a sudden here you are in a crossroad, and you'd be like, you know what? And it could be the thing that you dream about the most, like in your backflip, doing in the office. You'd be dreaming about this scenario where you could do, and then you decide maybe you want to go into different education, or maybe you want to learn something new, or you have to sit with yourself a little bit. Go within. Notice, what are your thoughts about it? How do you feel about it? And this body on planet Earth, heavy burden. Sometimes the body needs rest. Sometimes the body needs action. It is a challenge sometimes to find the balance between how much and how little, and find a good balance to it where you can manage everything in your life. It can be heavy burdens sometimes. I know if you are overweight, like a lot, then it's going to be very challenging to do most things in life, because there's a lot of weight that you have to lift in. Like I was 220 pounds, and my life was very challenging because every time I had to get up, that's the kind of weight I had to haul it around. And my bones and my will and my muscles had to haul around all this extra stuff, and it's can be heavy burdens. And once you release it, or you learn how to find a more balanced way, everything in life becomes easier. Every aspect of your life becomes easier. Our body is our vessel on this planet Earth. It is the place that you have to live here while you're here on planet Earth. I would recommend rather to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war, is what they say. Strengthen your frames, strengthen your body. It will take you to places that you wouldn't have gone if you didn't. Clarity of mind, cutting out some crap, clearing out the clutter. Clarity of mind. Clarity of mind is such a huge wow. Especially if you, like me, have been a big head with two shoes on it, walking around there, thoughts, thinking, oh my gosh, and worrying about this, being afraid about that, I'm worrying about this, afraid about that, I don't know, wow, back, forth, no, I can't do it, I'm stuck. Clearing out all that clutter. It just starts with sitting with yourself. Maybe closing your eyes, maybe having your eyes wide open so you can see everything going on. Whatever you do, go within. And listen to what's going on up in that crazy little box that we all have on the top of our body. family, monkeys, family, security. Clear out the clutter. Bring in the group. Family, unity, human family. If you don't have a family yourself yet, then you can claim the whole humanity as to be your family. Why not? The animals, the people, everything. And then Esther and Abraham Hicks say, in the same way that sculptors mold clay into the creation that pleases them, you create by molding energy. You mold it through your power of focus. By thinking about things, remembering things, and imagining things. You focus the energy when you speak, when you write, when you listen, when you are silent, when you remember, and when you imagine. You focus it through the projection of thought. The beautiful light in me, it honors, respects, and it loves the same beautiful light in you. And until next time, namaste.